Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody. Welcome to our weekly broadcast. I am Sami, your host. Good to be with you. I hope you're having a good weekend. We're going to get started. We're going to talk about the market. We're going to talk about some swing ideas for the week. But before we start, as always, a standard quiet disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you are new to our channel, please be sure to download my free ebook. Link for that is in the description. But without further ado, let's get started. Let's take a look at the charts. Let's see what we got for the week ahead. If you find benefit in today's video, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you have any questions, leave a comment or send us an email. So the market is no change since last week. I said last week, I believe I did, that we're probably going to have a slowing in momentum. We've had an amazing move up. And as you can see, we've slowed down, but we're still bullish. Barring a break of this pivot that formed, I mean, we should be higher. In fact, if we just pop over the prior double top here, we should get to the all-time high. That's the NASDAQ. That's the SPY. And here's the NASDAQ. It's the same thing. It actually peaked its head above it and then got sold, which is not a very good thing, but it's a very tight uptrend. I can't go against it until and unless at least this pivot is broken. But even if it gets broken, so what? We have support right below. So I don't know that we're actually going to come in. But even if we did come in, I don't think we're going to crash at all. And then the next move, the next target on the way up is about 540. Somebody asked me legitimately, how come I don't look at watch the futures market? And I have a very simple reason for you. I don't also read the news about the stocks that I'm in or I'm contemplating getting into them because I don't trade the news. So I would rather just focus on the price action and read things objectively, and that's all I need to do. Now, if I traded futures, the futures market, sure, I would need to watch the futures market. But as long as I don't trade the futures market, then all I need to do is focus on the chart of the equities. That's what I trade. I want to be objective. I don't want to have to, why don't we look at also other things that influence the market? Bonds, interest rates, what the overseas markets have done, Europe. Wouldn't that make us more knowledgeable? No, I think it might make us more knowledgeable. I think it will make us worse off. We'll be worse off for it. It's better to have like a cave-like mentality where you're just focused on the price action of the market that you're trading and not worry about anything else. I trade gaps every single morning, and obviously stocks gap because there's news on them. Do you think I read the news on those gaps? Never. Almost never. It's only when I suspect that there's a buyout or the company is doing a secondary offering or something is up, something is off about the gap. That's the only time I look up the news, and most of the time I just ask the room members. I say, hey, what's the news on this stock? And they tell me, but I don't actually ever look up the news. All right, so the same thing. I don't look up the futures market. It's only when I'm curious. But does it really help me with my trading? It wouldn't at all. It's just curiosity, but that's about it. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And if we disagree, we disagree. But that's I've done it I went live April of 2007. So this is how I've always done it. And I've done okay. I've done well for myself by not being too scattered or looking at too many things. Okay? All right. So market, we said, continues to be bullish. If we have a slowing in the momentum. If we do pull back, I'm not expecting a deep pullback, and more likely that we continue higher and we reach the all-time high. And we have a nice breakout pattern setting up in the market. We just need to push higher one more time. In terms of the individual stocks, here's my entire daily watch list. I normally only pick a few to go over, but this is actually my entire list for tomorrow. I don't have a great list. This was a very, very bullish gap and it cleared resistance, so that was nice. but then it put in a deep pullback. So I'm not quite sure it's ready to go up. This is EXEL setting up long. I would want to wait another day or two to see how it, I need the pattern to tighten up a little bit, but probably over 44 with a stop under 42 and target about 48 on the EXEL as a swing. FSLR, and I think the rest of the solar stocks are looking interesting. The same here in terms of the deep pullback. So we gapped up. This was a climactic move. We put in a really deep pullback, but I like that rounded bottom on the hourly chart. So over the base, stop under it. And I think, you know, like SHLS got bought on the gap down, setting up long, but it's not quite ready. I don't think so. ENPH, I noticed popped on Friday. I don't know. I'm not planning to do it, but I'm noticing that the solar stocks are pretty interesting. RUN is another one that looks good. It triggered already on Friday, but I didn't get it. I didn't see it. So I'm watching it also as a long. Let's see what the SCDG is doing. This is usually the weakest. It's looking up. It's looking up a little bit. CSIQ, bullish a little bit. And then I think SPWR, okay, that doesn't look good. All right, so the solar stocks, keep an eye. NVAX is looking interesting. Notice the 20 MA under price and it's pointing up, so I like it higher over 762 with a stop under 684. Here's the monthly for you. Interesting. It collapsed completely, but might be ready to move back up. Again, the entry would be only if it took out this bar's high, which is 762. PLTR, I don't know where the stock is headed to. I actually played it long, called it long in the newsletter over here at 1, and I got out at 120, or I'm not sure where exactly, and I did not feel good about that exit. And now it's at 130, and it's looking like it's going to take out the all-time high. I mean, it's really bullish. So I'm going to wait for a 1, 2, 3 at a bare minimum because it already popped. So if I get a 1, 2, 3, then long above, hopefully, okay? Rocket, I don't know that it's going to go higher, but I would wait for it to take out the highs. And if it did, or if it can base up here for like tomorrow at least, and then higher on Tuesday or Wednesday, that would be nice because it has a lot of room. Similar to the URGN. In this case, it shook out, it broke down and failed, so I like it a lot over the base. The only issue is the stop is not very tight. The stop would be under 360, entry over 425, and target about 6, maybe a little bit more on the urgent, but it's the same idea. It's a big gap down, and I would be playing the fade, the move up basically, okay? On both of these, the RUN we talked about, it triggered already. I'm watching it for now. TWLO is very, very bullish, has been basing like the market, but that's a beautiful monthly chart. If this goes back up to 400, and I told you, wow, you had the idea to go long here or even here, which is where I got it the first time, and you didn't do it, and now it's back up to 400, you would be, you know, I think we'd all be sick to our stomachs. So I like it a lot. It is a bit late, but maybe not too late, especially if it can tighten up, like wait for the 20 to catch up and then break out over about 121 with a stop under 110 on the TWLO. The UNH played it here, still in it. It got to target 1, which was 320. And now the back half, I raised the stop to under 389, I think. 289 that is, excuse me. I wish it was 389. But it's actually, I think, more likely to pop than to drop. It just needs to take out the 303.50 or so. And then the problem is target 2 for me was at 340, and now it's, you know, the 20 is right there. The 20 MA is usually my target. The prior high is right here. So I don't know that it's going to get to 340. But it's interesting for a breakout. This went climactic for sure, the UNH. Urgent, we talked about. WOOF, I talked about it, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but I said it looks really good, but it had already popped that day. So, you know, so that was a Friday. It looks good on the monthly, on the WOOF. Weekly is decent. Daily, I have not been able to catch it because I don't like to get in the day after a big move. I like to get in after a doji bar, but not after a big green bar. And now it's also a big green bar and away from the 20. So I don't know that it's good, but it's really, really bullish. So over the red bar, stop right here on the WOOF. I'm watching it. The ZM has a good monthly chart too, though it hasn't worked like the TWLO worked last year. So this one, the same exact thing. It totally collapsed. It's trying to bottom, looking up. Is it gonna work? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but it does have a daily buy setup. So long over 81.50 or so. It's 81.32, but I'd give it a little bit of room. Stop under 78.30, and then target, I would hold it long term. Basically, that would be the idea as a long term hold. Maybe target $188 or so. And then the ZIM is the daily buy setup, similar to the FSLR and similar to the EXEL in that it gapped up here, moved up actually, and then put in a deep pullback. So usually I don't do it on the first initial move up. I would wait for it to give me a secondary sign of strength, SSS, and then get it. But I don't know, it might work on the ZIM. That's my entire daily watches for tomorrow. Here's the shorts. ABR triggered on Friday already, and I wasn't aware of it, but it looks pretty. So, and it doesn't look too late. So under 956, stop over 995, target maybe the green bar's low, 875. It's just a daily sell setup on a really, really bearish stock. As you can see, all out downtrend. The AOS is a 1, 2, 3, 4. So igniting bar, couple of doji bars. I like it short. Right here, under the big red bar's low, stop right here. And then target 1 maybe right there. So not a lot of R to R, and then target 2 maybe right here. Okay, on the AOS, the BBY I like a good amount. I mean, it looks good. Daily is good, weekly is decent, and then monthly is okay. So short under this bar's low, stop above it. Under 65.85 by 67.16. Here's the hourly chart. It's a daily sell setup, so it just needs to break 65.85. Stop over 67.20. BCAX is a little bit thin, but I do like that hourly chart. Notice how it tried to go higher right here, the big bottoming tail, and then it failed. So short right here. But the problem with it is I wouldn't feel comfortable putting my stop, using the tight stop on this. So I would feel most comfortable putting it over 1030, which means it's a big stop. I like the gap a lot because it wiped away months and months worth of basing. So every single person that bought it in the last who knows how long, but especially this first 5 months of the year, 6 months of the year, no, 5 months of the year. So I mean, every single person is now sitting on a losing position. The only one that's not sitting on a losing position would be the only ones would be that bought it right there at the bottom. But everybody else that held it is sitting on a losing position. So if it starts to come in, I would think it would continue lower. But it is on the thin side. Entry would be under 898 with a stop over 1030. DDD, I mentioned it last week in last week's video as a breakdown right here. It's looking good. It's not too late, which is why I'm mentioning it again, because it does look good short. It's just grinding lower. Hive, I noticed a lot of the Bitcoin stocks are looking lower. As soon as Bitcoin got rejected, like the old time, it started to drop, they turned bearish. But the only thing is, usually I like to wait for the 20 to flatten out a little bit and then start to point down before getting involved. Because what if it did this? What if I got short and it went like this? That would be a daily buy setup. So that's the issue. I'm watching it as a weekly sell setup, basically on the Hive. That's a beautiful weekly sell setup. Mara. What about what else? So anyways, there's a bunch of them, but Hive and Mara look good. Riot is the one that I couldn't think of. Let's take a look at it. I don't think the Riot looked as good last time I looked at it as a short. So give me 1 second. I don't know why that. Yeah, it looks just as good, pretty much. That's the weekly for you. So they don't look good, these Bitcoin stocks, even though Bitcoin is almost at the near the all-time high. IOVA is similar to the 3D, gap down in its basing. So the base is not very good yet on the hourly chart. Let me fix the chart real quick. But it needs to kind of drop and base one more time. That would allow the 20 to start pointing down. And then I think lower under the lows for a breakdown. So this is not quite ready, but I am watching it. And that will do it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion. And I will talk to you. I'll see you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Good luck with your trading next week. Take care.